Welcome to the shit show. Today's guest is Courtney Swan, aka Real Foodology. Find her on Instagram. My name is Drake, one of your co-hosts, and the big fat guy over there is Jimmy the Jew. What's going on, Court? How are you today?
Ouch.
Hey guys, good.
Thank you for coming on here today.
Yeah, thanks for giving me a reason to put on real clothes.
Who's this other guy on here?
That's our producer, Christopher
Okay.
McBone.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes. See, I got you, Chris.
So, Courtney, you're in Los Angeles right now. You're like down the street from me. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, good. I honestly wish that we could just do this in person. This quarantine sucks.
It's super annoying.
As soon as this stuff drops.
Yeah. One day, we're all going to be able to hang out together in a room and chug wine.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
We just got told that all of our beaches and all of our parks are closed down for the entire year.
The year?
The entire year?
The entire year.
No shit.
I know.
Wow. Yeah, I keep hearing, even though they told us April 30th for LA, I keep hearing that they're just going to keep pushing it back. They just don't want to cause everyone to get freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the May 3rd. Got a text on our phone, emergency broadcast text.
Man.
May 3rd. That's crazy. Yeah, so Jimmy is in NorCal and Chris is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So
Minneapolis. Is it cold out there?
Not that bad. Had a little bit of snow in the last few days, but it's, 57 right now. So it's still walkable.
It's cold here.
It is really cold here right now, actually. It's been really gloomy and it's been raining. Yeah, I feel like LA is matching the feeling of the world right now. It's pretty crazy, yeah.
Well, before we get into your interview, Courtney, I want to add a little bit of positive news because I found this really nice story online today. It said a zoo has been trying to get two pandas to mate for 10 years. It's in Hong Kong. And once the coronavirus shut down, like all the zoos, they actually were successful.
We did it.
The pandas have mated, and they're going to be having a baby.
Can someone get together and work on me getting laid?
No.
Fuck.
It won't.
You're celibate. What are you talking about, Jimmy? You're celibate. You don't need to get laid.
Shit. I'd break it for the hot chick or so. Shit.
That's so cute. The pandas just had stage fright.
They
just needed people to leave.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, we're not doing this in front of people.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
We don't want an audience.
Yeah, what are you drinking?
In an attempt to get myself to drink more water, I put some herbal tea in here and I've been trying to chug it. For as healthy as I am, I really struggle with drinking water.
Really?
Yeah.
Super important.
It's really strange. Yes, it's very important. I talk about the importance of it daily, and then I really struggle with doing it myself. It's weird. I don't really feel thirsty ever, which is like very strange, even when I'm super hungover. So I really have to force myself to do it. So enter herbal tea.
Nice.
Try to get myself to do it.
Well, do you want to talk
cocktails? All my cocktails have ice in it, so I figure that's drinking water with.
That's water right there.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and give all of our listeners a little bit of an introduction and like what it is exactly that you do, and just tell us who is Courtney Swan?
Yes. Okay. So I'm Courtney. I'm an integrative holistic nutritionist. I am based in LA, as we talked about, and I am the founder of a food blog called Real Foodology. I have my master's in nutrition, and I've worked as a nutritionist for the last 5 years. And I started my food blog initially just as a recipe blog when I was in college. I was getting my master's in nutrition, and I just felt like I really needed an outlet to get out all the information that I was learning in school. And at the time, people weren't even really doing blogs, so I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't have any intention of turning it into a job. It was just something that at the end of the day after school, I just needed an outlet to write out all the information I was learning. And over time, it turned into an Instagram, and now my Instagram is my full-time job. I was working in music before actually I did this, and then I left the road. The first time I left the road to go back to school to get my master's, and then I got asked to go back out on tour, and it was kind of a job that I couldn't say no to. And so I went back on the road, and then I quit that in September, and now I'm doing this full time as a nutritionist.
That's where I met you.
Exactly. So
what do you play, Courtney?
I don't play anything. I was a tour manager for like 8 years, and then I was working as a nutritionist for a pop star. Her name's Toblo for the last 4 years.
Oh yeah, I know Toplo well actually. I worked with Mickey Echo for a long time. And they were really good friends.
Wait, with who?
Mickey Echo.
Mickey Echo. I don't know if I know who that is, actually.
He wrote that song "Stay" with Rihanna, and they became really close friends because of that. Yeah, so we had a few crazy nights with Toblo.
Yeah. Oh, she's the best. She's truly one of the most amazing humans ever.
She is great.
Yeah.
Well, so what kind of stuff are you working on currently? I see on your Instagram that you have a lot of brands that you do partnerships with, whether it's different clothing brands or foods or even some therapy stuff. What are you working on right now during this quarantine?
So I have a couple recipes coming out. I have one coming out. Actually, it was supposed to come out today, but it's getting delayed, I think, until tomorrow. But I'm doing a lot of recipes at the moment. I feel like people are home right now, trapped in their houses, and all of a sudden have become bakers and chefs. And so I'm trying to provide. I'm trying to give the people what they want. So I'm doing a lot of recipes right now, and I'm trying to focus on foods that are easily accessible that most people can find in the grocery store because it's a little dicey out there right now. Yeah, so there's that. I also love, like you touched on a little bit, I love talking about mental health. You know, like I said, this started out as a food and like health and wellness blog, but I've really, like, as I've grown as a person, I've become to, I'm starting to see the importance of mental health and taking care of that as well. And I love talking about it because I feel like it needs to be normalized and talked about more because people are so fucking scared to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jimmy is definitely not mentally healthy. So I think he definitely, I'm sure if we got a therapist on here, he could go down a massive laundry list of things, right, Jimmy?
A fucking wormhole. Hey, the light at the end of my tunnel is a fucking train.
There's therapists that you could always FaceTime right now. I FaceTime mine in once a week, and it's like saving my life right now.
Same here.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like everyone should be on therapy or in therapy. I haven't had a therapist, and I had one when I was a kid for a little bit, but I haven't had one in forever.
I agree. I feel like it should be like, like every year we go and get a checkup at the doctor. I feel like everyone should be getting mental checkups, like, twice a month or something. It's like a little massage for your brain.
I want to see.
I need a fucking confession stand.
I want to see Jimmy go into therapy and come out a changed man.
It wouldn't happen.
A God-loving, Mormon.
Hey, statute of limitations hasn't ran out on all the shit I've done. I can't talk to nobody.
Courtney, we were we had Jimmy. He came over to Silver Lake a few times, and we've done some tapings. And when he walks around, people just stare at him because they're like,
"Who is this
guy here?" Well, because he's literally like catcalling people. Like he was like catcalling.
Who's this normie? Who's this normie walking around?
It's absolutely ridiculous. So what kind of recipes do you have any recipes you can share with us right now? Like any?
You have your own cookbook?
Oh, I don't have a cookbook. I've toyed with the idea of doing one, but I haven't done one yet. Because, this is actually pretty new territory for me still, because up until September, I spent the last 4 years touring on the road. And so being home and having full-time like access to a kitchen as opposed to just like having a little kitchen on a tour bus is like a new experience for me, actually. So probably down the line I will. As far as a recipe I could share right now, I mean,
we could also you could just say what it is and we can put it on our page later.
I'm trying to think of one that would be good and accessible. Okay, you know what my favorite thing to make is, and I don't know how this will resonate with your audience, but I love doing cauliflower rice because you can do like so many different flavors with it. So I make it in like all different variations. You can add pesto and make it kind of like a pesto, what, a pesto like flavorful.
You heard it here first.
Pesto.
It's this new sauce. You haven't heard of it? But I like it because there's so many different variations. It basically just takes on whatever flavor of sauce you decide to put on there. So you could do like a barbecue chicken one and add like organic cheddar cheese and barbecue sauce, or you could do my favorite and make it like Asian style, like fried rice, and do egg and add peas, and it is so good. And it's sneaky because then all of a sudden you've eaten like a whole bowl of vegetables and it tastes like you had like regular cauliflower or regular fried rice.
So do you can you make cauliflower rice yourself, or is it something you have to buy?
Okay, so you can make it yourself, but you can also buy it. I know Trader Joe's and Whole Foods both have it already riced, ready to go in the freezer section. But if you're in a pinch and you can't find that, you can also just buy a head of cauliflower, throw it in the blender until it gets like really blended up like until it looks like rice. And then you're good to go. It's really simple.
Try it?
Yep, exactly. And then you'll put some oil in a pan. Don't use canola oil or vegetable oil. Make sure it's like avocado or olive oil. Or coconut oil works too. And then you want to saute it like you would any other vegetables. And then you pretty much just add anything you want in there. So if you were doing a fried rice, you would just basically look up a fried rice recipe. And then instead of rice, you would use the cauliflower.
I love fried rice. I make some bomb fried rice.
He does make fried rice.
Yes, breakfast fried rice. I throw sausage in it for the meat.
Oh, yum.
So
and then throw a
bomb.
fried egg on top.
Yep. So bomb.
That sounds so good.
I'm really getting hungry.
So on your Instagram, Courtney, you have a lot of things. We were talking about boosting your immune system, especially right now during all the shit that's going down. Can you give us some tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always preface this by saying, obviously, none of these tips are meant to say that they cure you of anything. I'm not even saying that if you do this, it means that you won't get the virus. However, it may lessen the effects if you do get exposed. If you have your immune system like in really, really good tip-top shape, then you're way more equipped in order to fight it off if you were to get exposed. So there's certain things that you can do. A lot of them are you can just find in your kitchen already. Garlic being one of them. Garlic has been, it's basically called nature's antibiotic because it's super antibiotic and antiviral. And there's studies behind this too. You can look it up. It's been studied forever because we've been using it for centuries as medicine. But garlic has to be raw in order to get those properties. So I tell my clients, you can either, I would cut it in half and then you can swallow it like a pill with water. Or you can just put it raw on top of anything you want to eat. Or there's this dip that I get at the grocery store. I call it garlic fluff. It's this brand called Majestic Garlic. And it's basically just garlic with salt and oil, and then they have different flavors, and it is incredible. I eat that every day. Yeah, it's really good. He's had it before.
You think Italy would be healthier.
You think what? Oh, yeah, it's so true. I know. So, yeah. So garlic is a great one. Ginger is another really good one. Ginger is also especially important for right now because ginger has a lot of properties that help with respiratory health. And as we know, the virus attacks our lungs. So what I like to do, I make this little drink tonic and I do garlic, ginger. I heat up a little bit of water and I put Manuka honey in there as well. And you kind of make it like a tea. And then I'll add this other thing called oil of oregano. And it's basically the oil of oregano, like it sounds. And again, it has super antiviral and antibacterial properties that will help your body fight off any sort of disease or infection. And the things I'm talking about here, like I take all of these things every single cold and flu season. And I usually don't get any sort of cold or cough. It really helps.
Where can someone get Manuka honey?
I was just going to talk about Manuka honey. You can find Manuka honey to be honest, I don't know if you can find it at every grocery store, but I know for sure you can find it at like Whole Foods or any sort of like natural food store. I believe Trader Joe's has it as well, our favorite.
Definitely my favorite.
The
Shout out
special
Trader
thing
Joe's.
about Manuka honey. Sponsor you. Sponsor us.
Yes.
Manuka honey is really special because it comes from New Zealand actually. And it's specific to these Manuka bushes that they find that you can only really find them in New Zealand. And the bees that pollinate from the Manuka bushes is what creates this Manuka honey. And there's been studies that have been done on this Manuka honey. It has really high antiviral and antibacterial properties. In hospitals, especially in New Zealand, they actually use Manuka honey on open wounds to help with wound care because it's really antibacterial. Yeah. So right now, I know it's really incredible and it's honey. So I right now during all of this have been doing a spoonful of Manuka honey every morning too.
Help with allergies too?
It does, but it has to be, in order for honey to help with your allergies, it actually has to be local to wherever you live. Yep. So for example, if I was worried about allergies in LA, then I would go to the farmer's market and I would make sure that I got honey that was made somewhere in my area.
That's a thing. So if you eat honey, that will get rid of your allergies.
Absolutely.
What is it like? Build antibodies or something, or?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't fully get rid of them, but it definitely
Right.
helps. But again, like I said, it has to be local because it's whatever you're dealing with in that area of where you're living.
I just got the shot the other day, the allergy shot, first time in my life, and I literally have no allergy problems right now, and I have bad allergies. So I'm a firm believer now in the allergy shot.
Okay, I used to get them as a kid. I
Yeah,
haven't got them in a long time
never
now.
got one before.
As he coughs into the
Did you-
microphone.
Okay, I take blood pressure
Right.
medicine because you stress me the fuck out. And my blood pressure medicine makes me cough. It's a side effect.
No, it's the chlamydia. It's the chlamydia of the throat, Doug.
You got the clap.
She's
bro?
happy.
Oh, he has definitely had the clap.
I've
How many
never
times have you
had
had the
STD
clap?
in my life?
I don't believe that. 'Cause
I have never
either
had-
have I.
You shut up, Drake. You're gay. You have hell disease.
I never have.
Whoa.
I never have. I
That's
never
not-
have.
I've never had an STD in my life. I had crabs when I was 15. That's it.
Okay, that's an STD.
So you have
No, it's
had
not.
one.
Yes,
It's
it
not an
is.
STD.
Yes.
Yes,
Sexually
it has to be
transmitted
sexually
disease.
transmitted. So
Yeah.
by
I got it from a
definition,
toilet
it would
seat.
be an STD.
Uh-huh. Of course you did.
I swear, honey.
Oh my god. Wait, so going back to the garlic, and you said you can literally cut the garlic clove in half and swallow it. Will your body break that down, or will you just shit out like a piece of garlic?
No, your stomach acids will break it down.
Unlike corn, Drake.
So you know what I've been doing a lot lately with the garlic? I mentioned that little immune tonic earlier. So I'll just chop it. The reason why I said cut it in half is you want to like open it to kind of get the juices flowing a little bit. But you can chop it. It doesn't have to be vigorously or anything. And then throw it in the bottom of a drink with your like Manuka honey, ginger. But what I do, I know it sounds really intense, but what I do is I just make it like a little shot and you just take it back like a tequila shot. I know you can do that.
You're a keeper. You're definitely a keeper.
Well, one thing that Courtney is all about is Courtney likes that we have a good time. We drink our wine, go out and have fun.
Yeah.
So maybe you can give, since most of our listeners are mostly degenerates and like to go out and party and do.
I resemble that.
Can you give us any tips on how to like party and not get a hangover or recover, like fast recovery? Do you have any fun ideas?
Okay, I'm really good at this. So when I was on tour with Tove, this was everybody's like favorite perk of having me out on the road because I would always take care of everyone like pre and post hangover. So my biggest trick, a lot of people don't like coconut water, but if you like coconut water, if you use it as a mixer, okay, great. If you use coconut water as a mixer, you're less likely to have a hangover because you're hydrating while also dehydrating at the same time. So, because coconut water is really high in electrolytes. And so that's why like you want to make sure that, I mean, you could also just be drinking water, but like who wants to be drinking water when you're drinking tequila? Am I right?
I keep Pedialyte in my refrigerator.
No, don't do Pedialyte.
Why?
Pedialyte has really nasty, it has artificial dyes and it usually has corn syrup or regular sugar. It's super high in
If you've
sugar.
seen the
really hard
girls
on your
I've
liver.
been with, that corn syrup ain't gonna scare you. Oh man, those little dyes
There you
ain't
go,
gonna do
the
shit. Yeah, right.
That's where you got the crabs.
Yeah, from the toilet seat.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
So that's my number one trick is coconut water. And then the next morning, actually before you go to bed, take charcoal. This is really easy. You can buy it super cheap. Yeah. You can buy it for super cheap at Whole Foods. It's not an expensive supplement. And I take at least 4 before I go to bed. And then I'll take usually like 2 to 4 in the morning.
What? Charcoal?
Yep. And charcoal is just a really great detoxifier. In fact, it's so intense that you can't take charcoal within like a 4-hour window of taking any of your other supplements because it actually it literally sucks out the nutrients of everything. And so it really helps with hangovers because it helps cleanse your liver, detoxify it out. Speaking of liver cleansing, 2 other supplements that really help are glutathione and calcium D-glucarate. They're both antioxidants. Glutathione is an antioxidant that your body naturally makes. And what it does is it helps ramp up your detoxification pathways in the liver. And so we all know alcohol gets filtered through the liver. If you're protecting your liver and taking care of it and making sure that you're looking out for those detoxification pathways with glutathione, calcium D-glucarate, it's going to get it out of your body a lot quicker.
Well, I definitely needed that
liver
a few years ago. My liver completely failed after meeting Drake for 3 years.
Yeah. The shit show's
Really?
destroying
I
my
blame
liver.
Drake for my liver failure.
Okay, so Chris, our producer, obviously
Wait, I got to hear about this.
he's the guitar tech for Iration. So
Was.
that's how. Yeah, well, I mean, no, you're not. There's just no work.
You
No,
guys will come back. Yeah.
No, exactly. So so Chris, you're what, 23?
25, thank you.
Okay, well,
26 on April 7th.
Yeah, so when I first met him, like our first tour that we did together was in like 2 or 3 years ago, and we went pretty hard. And Chris went a little too hard to the point where his liver failed.
But actually, what it mainly was not alcohol. It was back then I was a gym rat, and I was doing a lot of pre-workout, a lot of really intense pre-workout. And so the combination of pre-workout every day plus alcohol at night when we were touring really kind of took a toll on my liver. So I went to the doctor and got a blood test.
Scary.
And my liver functions were, I quote, the highest we've ever seen in the office.
Oh, just do cocaine like normal people.
I do.
Yeah. Or little mushrooms. Can I say that?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's all natural.
Been there too. We're all
Exactly. Great.
Yes, I'm blaming, on this podcast, I'm blaming Drake and Jimmy for that exposure. So
Yes.
And the
crack a bottle
alcohol.
of wine now.
Yes, it's all about the alcohol.
yeah, they were both
Wait,
there
so
at
do
the
you
start.
drink? Do you drink now again? Or?
No, not anymore. I've been sober for 8 months now.
Okay, good.
Just wait till I see you, bro.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
If I may, can I make a couple suggestions to take care of your liver now that it's okay? So I would take glutathione and the calcium D-glucarate, and then I would also take a liver supporting supplement. My favorite is one called Liver Rescue, and it has a combination of different liver supporting supplements. I'm trying to remember what all is in it. Milk thistle, and there's like a whole other list of things. I'd have to actually pull it up. Mm-hmm. And it just will help protect your liver and help it repair itself. The liver, you're in a good position. The liver is good at repairing itself, but I would take those just to kind of ramp up the repairing.
And I'm fine now. I've been back. My LFTs have lowered down since then, so there's no issues now. It was pretty I had the CT scans to check for any kind of scarring or anything like that, and the kidney functions and everything was fine. So.
Ooh, man, you're lucky. That's good.
Yeah.
Damn.
No shit.
See, Drake, you're a bad influence on people.
I'm not.
It's all Drake's fault. It's definitely all Drake's fault.
Right, my liver's going to fall on my ass thanks to him. Fuck.
Drake loves to party.
I do. But like I got blood tests like maybe 4 months ago because I was having some like getting some weird tingling in my arm, which ended up being migraines.
The HIV.
But no, I don't have
migraines.
the HIV.
Really?
You have the HIV. Yeah, so it's like I was getting what they're called silent migraines. But anyway, so they tested everything, and my liver function is perfect. Everything is perfect.
Oh,
which is shocking.
I drink a lot.
Right,
Truly
you're a medical
shocking.
miracle.
For everyone who doesn't know Drake that well, Drake's the guy who, like, on the bus in the morning on a day off, he's the one, like, pouring vodka and making cocktails and trying to get everyone else to drink one with him.
He wakes me up with fucking wine. Drink this for sure. We're going to start the show. What do you fuck? Can you make me breakfast first or something? Look, that's not a joke. That's a true story.
in the bunk.
When we do our shows, like, well, since Jimmy lives up north and I live down here, we'll have to like do a whole bunch of shows all at once sometimes. So, you know, we'll spend about 4 or 5 days together, and it's kind of like a perpetual like party kind of vibe.
It's a full-blown party, nonstop.
Except once Jimmy came, already partied before the party
They pulled me
started.
out of a hot tub. I had badass naked bitches around me, and they pulled me out of a fucking hot tub. They called somebody to come get me, got me dressed, and fucking took me to the goddamn studio. Leave me alone. I'm with naked bitches.
He passed out so hard. We shot an entire video with like dogs on his back, people sitting on his back.
I was snoring.
Just face down, snoring on the couch.
It was like a 3-day bender.
What's
Courtney,
We've all been there.
what is your drink of choice, Courtney?
You know, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. I'm a huge fan of mezcal. I love a good sour beer. Mezcal.
I don't know.
It's like a smoky tequila. So it's basically tequila with a smoky taste.
And a worm in the
So
bottom.
good. I love tequila. So good. Oh, yeah. Well, not always, but yeah, sometimes. Traditionally in Mexico, it comes with a worm at the bottom.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to take the last shot with the worm in it. And I think it's supposed to be good luck or something like that.
I did as a kid.
Gross.
I chewed it, and it was really disgusting.
Oh, but also, what were you doing with a tequila worm as a kid?
Oh, we're fucking. Dude, I grew up in the ghetto, dude. We're on E&J Mad Dog 2020 at 15. We didn't give a shit.
Jimmy's a hood rat.
What is Mad Dog?
I don't know.
I'm learning so many things right now.
MD 2020?
Yeah, what's that?
It's like $1.99 for a big old thing of wine, cheap wine, and it comes in flavors: Hawaiian blue, strawberry red.
Oh, okay. So
ripped rot gut.
We had that in high school, but we called it Boone Farm, or not.
No,
it was.
There's like Boone Farms. They pour the Kool-Aid in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would get slushies from Sonic, the like big ones, and then just dump basically a bottle of vodka in there, and then just.
I'm going to get your liver tested. You put it right in the shit show. You put it right in the shit show.
You're all into organic stuff. Most of our listeners, I guarantee you, probably are not into organic, or they don't even know anything about it. Can you give a little like information on why it's so important, and if people are scared, like why they should like stop being scared?
Yeah. Okay.
People are scared of organic?
Yeah.
Well, they're scared of the price of it, I think.
Yeah.
But thankfully, more than ever, as people start buying more and more organic, there's been the prices have gone down. There's a lot more stores that offer options now. Like I go to Trader Joe's all the time and buy organic produce there, which is great. I know Target has it, Costco has it, Walmart has it. So it's definitely becoming more affordable. The reason why organic is so important is that there's certain guidelines that do not allow, there's like certain things that are not allowed in organic food. So for example, produce, they have a list of artificial pesticides and fertilizers that they're not allowed to use in organic farming. And there is a common misconception. A lot of people say, well, they still use fertilizers and pesticides in organic food, which is true. But the difference between conventional and organic is that they're very strict about what they're allowed to use and what they're not allowed to use on organic food. And the reason why this is such a concern is because one of the most widely used pesticides that we use in this country it's technically an herbicide. It's called glyphosate. And glyphosate you would probably recognize as Roundup. So you probably have it at home. Most people probably have it in their cabinet at home. Roundup is like a weed killer, right? But what we're doing is we're spraying all of our produce with it now. For example, wheat is one of the crops that gets sprayed with it most. Cotton gets sprayed with it a lot. And they're harvesting. What was
cotton?
That for, Dre?
No, because you said cotton. Like, could it be on our clothes?
Yeah. It's why a lot of companies are starting to do organic cotton, because cotton is actually one of the most sprayed crops. So there's wheat, cotton, soy, and corn. And those are the crops that get sprayed the most with glyphosate than anything else. So if you're buying conventional of any of those, then you can pretty much guarantee that it's covered in glyphosate. And the reason why glyphosate is such a problem is the World Health Organization has come out saying that they believe it to be a human carcinogen, which means that it causes cancer. We have a lot of proof around that, and there's been a lot of studies that have been coming out, and it's scary because you think about it, you're consuming all this food daily with glyphosate on it. It would be one thing if we were eating, one vegetable from time to time with it, but the problem is that if you're buying all conventional produce all the time, you're getting little doses of it every single day.
And it builds up.
And that's where it becomes a problem. Yeah, exactly. And then it builds up in the body. It's an endocrine disruptor, which means that it messes with our hormones. It causes a whole slew of different issues in the body. Yeah, it's concerning. And then, so that's for produce, so like fruits and vegetables. When it comes to meat, so there's really strict high standards when it comes to meat with organic. So they have rules about the way that their living conditions, whether or not they're allowed to be fed hormones, antibiotics, pharmaceutical drugs. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of the factory farmed animals in this country get fed pharmaceutical drugs. Because you think about it, they're all like living in really cramped quarters, right? They're living in awful conditions. So they're all, living on top of each other, and they get sick. So they're given medicine in order to keep them from getting sick, but they still get sick anyways. And so then they're giving them antibiotics, and then they're pumping them full of hormones because they want to make them as big as possible with the smallest amount of time, because these companies are not worried about the healthiness of the food, or they're not worried about the animals at all. They just are worried about their bottom line. They want to grow these animals to be really big and massive in the smallest amount of time, so they have less time to feed them and they can send them to slaughter sooner.
So it's definitely worth spending a little extra.
Downer. Yeah, it is. I know. And I'm sorry, it's such a downer to talk about, but it's like the reality of the situation that we're living in right now, unfortunately. And the more that we start demanding organic food, the more that we start putting our money towards it, the more affordable it's going to be made in the long run. Right now we're spending premium for it, but really like there shouldn't even be a difference between organic and conventional. It should just be all organic, but unfortunately it's not the world we live in right now.
It's getting better though. I feel like it's getting cheaper.
Oh yeah, Trader Joe's is super cheap. I can go in there and get 2 nice meals for like $10. My Safeway, that's like a $40 out the door. It's crazy.
I know Trader Joe's is amazing.
Their
I tell a lot of people
are amazing.
Yeah, everything they make is really great.
Yeah, definitely a fan. Ground turkey's like,
and they have a lot of organic
pound.
options. There you go. And I bought organic turkey recently at Trader Joe's, and it was really affordable. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite brands that I know you get a lot of stuff like Butcher Box and stuff sent to your house? What are some other brands that you could recommend to some of our listeners?
Just in general, food brands?
Yeah, just in general. Maybe right now, like stuff that you could get shipped to you directly right now. Like a lot of those boxes and things that you do. Okay,
so you mentioned Butcher Box. I love Butcher Box because it's pretty affordable. It's all organic, pasture-raised meat. And so you can get chicken, fish, steaks.
And they ship it to you?
Huh? Yep, they ship it to you in a box just with dry ice. And I've been doing that for 2 years now, and I've never had an issue. It comes like
Butcher
frozen.
Box.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it.
And it's good and it's affordable. Trying to think of other brands that can be shipped to you right now. I mean, I feel like in this day and age, you can really have anything shipped to you. One of my favorite brands is this brand called Siete. So they make tortillas, tortilla chips. They now make salsas. Yep, Siete, like the number 7 in Spanish.
Oh, it's so good. It's honestly so good. They have this hot sauce.
So fucking good.
Ugh. The hot sauce.
Yeah, exactly. They make hot sauce. They make enchilada sauce. They do like taco seasonings. And the cool thing about them, so their company started because, so they're called Siete because they're they're a family of 7. And one of their siblings actually got diagnosed with, I can't remember what it was, some sort of autoimmune disorder. And so she could no longer eat wheat and corn, which was what everything, like they were making corn tortillas, they were a Mexican family and they were, they love Mexican food. And so they remade Mexican food to be healthier and gluten-free. And they make tortilla chips. They make these Fuego tortilla chips that taste like spicy Doritos, and they're fucking amazing.
Mexican food's the best.
Yeah, they're really good.
And we're in California. We have the best Mexican food.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
for sure.
When you travel, that's what you miss the most. It's like, dude, I just want to get some fucking Mexican food.
It's so true. Yeah, Mexican food is my favorite. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other brands right now. I don't know why I'm like blanking on brands that I love right now. Birchmenders is another great one. They do like paleo waffle mixes. They have regular ones too, but they make these paleo ones they taste amazing. You can do pancakes, waffles. I made donuts with them the other day. Ooh. So good.
I know that you like Lily's a lot.
Oh yeah, I love Lily's.
That's my favorite.
Okay, so Lily's makes organic sugar-free chocolate. And they have dark chocolate. They make peanut butter cups. They do chocolate-covered almonds, chocolate-covered peanuts, and everything's sugar-free. But it's not nasty, like artificial sweetened stuff. It's made with stevia, which is just a natural plant sweetener.
It's so good. So one of the perks
really good.
One of the perks of when I got to meet you is like you get all this stuff shipped to you just because of what you do. A lot of companies and brands want you to try their stuff and review it. So you have sometimes way too much shit, and you're just like, here, Drake.
I'm like, please
have some chocolate.
Take it.
Yeah. We need better friends, Chris.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd share with you guys too if you were my neighbors.
I said a Mounds.
No. We got to get you on something better than a Mounds.
Yeah, so Jimmy's diet is not good.
Yeah. Mounds are awesome.
But it has sugar.
It has so much sugar in it.
We said we were talking about these the other day, and one of the listeners who I know, he ended up buying me a 3-pound box at fucking Costco. He brought it over. I'm like, wait, he goes, I listened to your show. You said you like Mounds, so I seen him out there. I bought you a 3-pound box. I have a fucking giant box of these things. I'm going to have fucking diabetes in about a week.
I'm really impressed that he was able to buy that quantity of food right now during the quarantine.
Well, all of our stuff's loaded up here. All of our markets, everything's we're full up here.
Really? Oh, wow. Yeah. It's
Trader Joe's is a line outside. They're letting 3 people in at a time at Trader Joe's. Yeah. 3 people in at a time. You have like 10 minutes. There's a line up front.
Oh, what a weird time we live in.
Jimmy, what have you ever eaten a full organic meal before, Jimmy? I know you go to Trader Joe's, but like, do you really look?
I don't think. I mean, I only ever focused on it. No. I mean, it's all gonna be shit tomorrow anyway. It's like, who cares? You know?
It does care.
Fuel for your body, and so you have to think about it like this. So whatever you eat. Well, yeah, I can't argue with that.
I love her. I love her. Red wine and cocaine.
My advice for cocaine is go to Colombia, go to the source. Actually, this is like a great example that I use.
That's what I want.
Best advice ever.
I have
organic
been down
movement
there
for drugs.
Yes, I have been down there, and it's definitely worth it.
Well, because you think about it, like, okay, so if you're in Colombia and you're actually chewing on the coca leaf, that's something that's made in nature. Right. You know? That's the thing. And that's kind of my philosophy, my approach to everything, to food, whatever it is, whatever you put in your body. Exactly. Do cocaine.
I love her drink.
Don't quote me on that. I'll lose my job.
You're my new co-host, Courtney.
Can you explain why sugar is so bad? Like,
yes, but I want to finish my other thing before everyone thinks that I'm like saying cocaine is good for you. Yes. The point that I'm trying to make is that you always want to get it to as close to nature as possible, right? So like why I brought up like the coca leaf, because the problem with cocaine, I'm not going to go into the cocaine thing. It's highly processed. As with anything, again, I'm not saying do cocaine, but I'm using it as an example. But yeah, you want everything to be as close to nature as possible, because the more highly processed that it is, it's going to be worse for you.
Right.
Because it has all the fillers. Think about the cocaine has all the like fillers and additives and all the like other shit in there you don't want. Yes. But yeah, sugar. So sugar is really bad because it's really hard on our livers. And it causes your blood sugar to rise and fall and kind of do this. And the problem right now, with all the sugar in our food is that we're eating so much sugar constantly, and we're eating a lot of it. So what's happening is it's causing a spike in our blood sugar, and then then you crash, and then all you want is more sugar to replenish that energy because you've crashed and now you want more. And then all day we're doing kind of, a roller coaster ride with our blood sugar. It's also really hard on the liver. So we're seeing now more than ever that people can get fatty liver just from eating a lot of sugar, which before was only something we would see in like alcoholics, people that were drinking too much alcohol. But sugar actually really affects the liver. And yeah, I mean, obviously like leads to diabetes and stuff like that, but it's not great for us. Oh, and also sugar feeds cancer tumors.
Oof. Well, I get Trader Joe's organic sugar. That's what we use. Now, there's different kinds of sugars. Like there's cane sugar from the sugar cane. It's supposed to be better for you because it's more natural. It's not so processed or something like that, correct? Or no?
Yeah, but cane sugar is still sugar. So I try to remind people like, yeah, there's healthier options of sugar. Like I would say if you were choosing between corn syrup and cane sugar, I would say choose the cane sugar. But then at the end of the day, sugar is still sugar. Sugar is sugar is sugar. So like no matter what kind of form you're getting it in. Hey, sugar.
Down boy.
Hey, honey. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Down.
No, you're good. But at the end of the day, it's still going to have the same impact on your blood sugar. I'm a huge proponent for sugar-free options like monk fruit or stevia because they don't have an impact on your blood sugar and they still taste like sugar. Yeah, monk fruit's oh no, but Splenda's not great.
But it tastes so good.
What is what is Splenda?
The yellow pack.
Splenda, yeah. Wait, is it yellow?
I'm colorblind. Looks yellow.
He is colorblind.
I mean, you would know better. To be honest, I literally haven't even seen a Splenda pack
I heard
in
that
years.
Stevia is like the best one for you.
Yep, stevia or monk fruit. I really like monk fruit a lot because stevia. Okay, so stevia has kind of an aftertaste a little bit. It kind of has that like artificial taste, whereas monk fruit just tastes like real sugar, which is what I love.
Good. But you could cook with stevia,
it's really
which is
good.
Cool.
Yeah, you can cook with monk fruit also.
Cool. Where do you get monk fruit? Does it look like sugar?
It's monk fruit. It's called monk fruit because it was made popular by monks because monks were using it.
You get Trader Joe's?
Now, I'm not sure actually. Yeah,
Whole Foods. Get it at Whole Foods or online.
I like Whole Foods.
Would not. You do or you don't?
I don't. They're expensive, man. They're expensive.
You know, if you get their 365 brand, it's pretty comparable to Trader Joe's.
Really?
Like their in-house brand is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
You should just look for the 365 is their like in-house brand, and it's about half the price of everything else. It's really good.
I'm very cheap.
That's okay. It's not bad to save money, but you know, you just got to make sure you're spending it wisely on healthy food.
100%.
Yes.
Well, Courtney, thank you so much for coming on here. Do you want to go ahead and just plug all your social media and everything before we go?
Yeah, so I am Real Foodology across the board. I'm really just most active on Instagram. I also have a blog, and again, it's Real Foodology, and my name is Courtney Swan. Please reach out if you guys have any questions. I'm always in the DMs, happy to answer any questions you have.
Ooh, in the DMs. It all goes down.
Slide in those DMs.
That's not for you, Jimmy.
Damn it.
Jimmy, you are not allowed
Jake,
to text
you are a
her.
big cock blocker. You know that?
Yes, I will. Courtney is single, and maybe, you know, we can set her up. We should set her up with Brad Newman, the porn star.
Oh, the porn star.
He lives in LA.
The porn star.
Look him up. He has a giant dick. Huge.
Yeah. All right.
Third largest white cock in porn.
He lives down the street, actually.
Yeah.
Down our street?
Yeah. He's in LA.
How am I just now hearing about this big dick?
I don't know. I just put two and two together.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a big.
And when you come up, we'll go to the winery when you come up.
Love it. Great. And I'll bring some orange wine so we can try that too.
I would love that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening to The Shit Show. Check out our merch store at theshitshow.store and our Patreon at patreon.com/The Shit Show Podcast. And Courtney, thank you for being here.
And thank you to Yali Bird.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Yali Bird.
Thanks.
Our sponsor.